Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. Today I wanted to make another journal cover. And I know a lot of people are sort of, not sure about really getting into doing these. So what I have here, as you can see, it is part of an Amazon bag. You see I cut part of it off. So this is what we're going to use today. Now most people, well with me, I would use double-sided sticky tape. I've got the big rolls, but not everybody has that. And so we want to make this easy for everyone. So there's this little flap down here. I could trim it off, but instead I'm just going to glue it down, because you don't always have to cut everything up. So fold that over, glue that down so that edge is even. Now if it stays there, fine. If it peels up, that's okay too. It'll end up going down eventually. So I'm going to come in here, glue this side down. It is getting cold here. We were down to 43 last night. We have not turned the heater on yet in the main house. I have turned it on here in the Dragon's Den for a little bit. But I am enjoying sleeping with my window open above my head. I'm going to trim this one little edge off here because it is puckered. And I don't want the pucker. There. Now stay down there. So all we're going to use basically is just glue. Now, I have found that if I use like this kind of paper, it's going to show through on the back. That's going to show through. And I don't want that. So I need to put what I call an underlayment down. And this is to cover up the main stuff before I put another sheet on top of it. Now an underlayment is just what it is, what it sounds like. It's something that goes under, and there are times I will add maybe 2 layers, and all that's going to do, because you see this bends quite easily, and it will give some stability to your cover and a little bit of strength, which is what we want. Now in the papers that I had pulled, as I showed these yesterday. Let me see, I'm going to use a couple of these. These are gorgeous looking papers. I love them. Now, what I want to do is to mark, first of all, where my spine's going to be. Now, I did put a little mark here. Did I do the other? Yeah, as you can see here. There's a mark here, and then there's another one down here. And that's because I have just a piece of cardboard that's going to act as my spine. That's going to, because I want that strength in my spine. If I'm going to poke holes in here and put signatures in, I want something that's going to hold it. Excuse me a minute, I have to let Amora in under my desk. I have a carpet or a piece of a area rug, whatever, whichever you want to call it, under my desk for her to lay on. And the last one I got, I made the mistake of getting one that's looped. And her nails are quite sharp, so you can imagine what happened to it. So I just got her another one, and this time it's sort of a black and gray shag. Remember the old 70s shag carpets? Yeah, that's what it looks like. And she loves it. She also loves getting under my desk and laying down. Now the area that she can lay down from is like from about here all the way over to the other side of my desk. Well, it doesn't go all the way to the floor, so there's like a hole there. And what she does is she lays down, her tail's under the edge over here, and her head is sticking under that edge of the desk, which makes it into Victoria's area. So I know it's the joys of having a Very big dog. Okay, sort of push these down some to give me some delineation of where the spine is as opposed to the rest of my book. And see, now I can see this here. And if you really, if you can't see it and you know you need to, don't be afraid to come in here with a dauber and just along the edge, just so you can see it. You're not actually inking it, but you see how it brings out the line a bit better? I'll do it on that side too. Make sure I've got these lines all nice, because I don't want to cover up that part with what I'm doing. Now, all I'm going to do is to bring this in and basically lay it down here. Now at this point, I'm not using the full double-sided sticky tape, but I am going to use just the small roll. This is very easy to get. If you want a good value on when you buy these, I get mine from a Cherry on Top. I get their brand, and it is like a humongous roll. It's well over twice of what you get on other ones. So it's a good bargain. And it's like either $2.99 or $3.99 for a big roll. And I found out that tape, the tape I get from Cherry on Top is just as good as, if not better, than other ones I have bought. And I'm going to piece across here. Now all this is doing is this will hold my paper down. So, and that's what we want. We want it just to stay in place, because with this being one of these soft envelopes, it's not a bubble envelope, I want to say, but it is padded. It does have a little bit of padding in there, but it's not a bubble. But I don't want any of this or the thing here to show through. And this will also give me a little bit of more strength in my journal cover. Now, I'm not worried by the fact that it's open in the middle. Doesn't bother me, because once I get the papers on it, you're not going to be able to tell. Okay, we got that part. Now, as with any time you're using double-sided tape, washi tape, or anything, don't forget to come in here and burnish it down. That's what makes it stick. Because there are times I have not burnished and I go to pull the paper off and the sticky tape comes off with it. Okay, now I think I need to get me a new pokey tool. The rubber's starting to wear off. I got this when Tim Holtz first came out with them. I tell you, some of my stuff is really, really old, but it works, so why not hang on to it? All right, move those papers out of the way. Trash box. I know, just another thing to put trash in. As if I don't have, I've got the little hanging trash bag that hangs on my drawer right here. I've got a larger kitchen trash can behind me. And then there's another large kitchen trash can over there next to the tea cart. So yeah, we got plenty. Now, I want a wider, let me see, do I have, yeah. I'm going to use this one because it has a wider tip, and I want to get this glue down here. Now, the one thing I'm going to pull out right now before I forget it is my brayer. And I'll show you why in just a moment. So I'm going to take a sheet of this and try to get it as even as possible up and down. Excuse my head if it got in the way. Now, because we did the glue over there, I want to use the brayer to sort of smush it between there so that it gives you a bit more coverage. And yes, you can see the lines coming out, but don't worry. We're not worried with that. We're good with that. Now that's right. We're going to come over here. And there's a reason why it's larger around the sides. You need some that you can tuck, pull around and tuck around to make the edges of your book. There goes 2. Oh, that didn't make it into the trash. There goes 3. And last one. Evidently, I did not get that edge there down very well. There we go. Yeah, I think for Christmas, I'm going to ask for another Tim Holtz Pokey Tool. All right, in with our glue. And then I'm going to try and even it up with this page as best as I can. All right, that goes down. And then we'll use the brayer to sort of squish that glue all over the place. Now, that's the hardest part done. I'll move these out of the way. So what I want to do here, I'm going to be folding all of these up. Find my... But when I pull them down, I want to make sure I get this edge very snug against there. But I don't want it to bend into the envelope. Or make the envelope, bend inwards. Because we want it to lay flat. Here and here. Now, I don't want this extra bulk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here almost to that corner and then go out the other way. So I'm going to come in almost to the corner and go out the other way. Now let's do this side because you want to go ahead and do, if you're like me, I like doing all my gluing at one time. All my edges at one time. Almost like, all right, now see this, where this comes in, that edge is not even, but because this is even, that will make up for that. So don't worry if you've got a little snag there like that. It's okay. It's called junk journal for a reason. It's not supposed to be perfect. I mean, if you think about it, not even machine-made things are perfect. Because you get things that were made by machine that there are flaws. Now, I want to be careful with this side because it does come in there. Okay, now, I'm going to come back here. No, I'm not going to do my tape on this. I'm going to come in with my glue. And what I want to do is I want to do the top and bottom first before I do that inside. Now, I'm going to glue right here along that edge. That's going to be my first bead of glue. And then come down here and get the rest of the flap. Oh, excuse me. A little drink to wet my whistle. And there goes one. Let's go ahead and do this side too while we're at it. We're on this side. Come down here, make sure I get that edge. Even though it's a little wonky on this side, it's okay. It will work out. There's that side. Now we'll come around here. I mean, once you do these a couple of times, they really get to be easier the more you do them. I mean, if all you want to do is find a bunch of your material and do nothing but make blank journal covers, you can have several in your stash ready to go, you know, for when you want to start something. Now, I generally like to do a 7x5" journal, because to me that works. Because if you're using an 8.5 by 10 piece of paper, that 7x5, you won't have to trim off. Now on these corners, they are sticking out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that up into that edge. It's kind of hard to see. This one here I can't. So what I'm going to do with it is hold it there where it belongs and just fold that piece over. Yes, it tore there. I'm not worried about it. Believe me, it will get covered up. And this one here doesn't have much hanging over. Neither does that one. But I'll still tuck it under anyway. Alright, same with the ends. Now, it does not matter that these ends are longer than the sides, because it's going to get covered up. You know, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and we'll fold that edge up. And then I'm going to come in here and make sure that my corners are okay. Alright, one end. Now for the problem end. And it's not really a problem. I'm going to come in here and just put some glue under where that flap is laying over. I'm not concerned that there's more glue there than what I need. I know there's glue in here, it's just, it's cold and it's a little hard to squeeze. They do make a squeeze thing for glue. For those of you that have arthritis and have trouble with glue bottles, they do make something that helps. There. That turned out pretty good. Now, we've got the inside here that we want to take care of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another sheet of the same paper, and that will fit there. It will, you know, it's going to be in a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. But I do need to trim off a little bit top and bottom. So I need to trim off about 3/4 of an inch. So, let me grab my ruler, and I'm going to use my mat here as a guide. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and trim off an inch. Alright, so that goes there. Well, you know what? This ruler is an inch wide. I don't know why I'm sitting here messing with things like that. That works. Yeah, that works. Now, back to our cover. I'm not worried about the edges here yet, because I plan on putting a spine cover on this. So, now when you put the inside paper on, it is a bit different than doing the rest of it. But it's, believe me, it's so easy. Once you do a couple of these, you will see how easy it is. So I'm going to just put my tape there, and then here, and then I'm going to come across, all the way down across the bottom. I mean, this part is pretty well self-explanatory. Just go all the way around your paper with double-sided tape. Just that easy. Just like that. Now, to the cover though, we're putting tape a little differently. I'm going to come in here. I'm not coming all the way to the end, because you see our paper does not go all the way to the end. So what I'm going to do is, I see where I need to put it. I'll come down here and do that much. And then I'm also going to do it right next to it on this side of my fold. Why? Because I don't want it to buckle. And I've had them buckle. And I'd rather be safe than have a buckle. You know, where the paper doesn't quite lay down where it's supposed to. Or you get a bubble in it, and it can be frustrating. I don't want frustration. There. Now I have these 4 places, and I have this around here. So, let's see what's coming off first. No, I did not burnish it. I know, I forgot. But I'll just rub my thumb over it. Just the edges. If it even wants to come up. There we go. So does everybody have plans for their Thanksgiving this year? It's just going to be me, David, Victoria, and Nikki this year. So I think what we're going to do is probably just get a ham and some Hawaiian rolls, and I may make deviled eggs and potato salad, but that's going to be it, because there's only 4 of us. Why do a big meal? I sort of burnish them down a little bit with my fingernail. Okay, there was 1. I know, I'm missing the trash can entirely. But it'll be okay. 2 and 3. Now, I'm going to use my bigger one. I'm going to come in here and lay down some glue right on the spine. And because that's cardboard, it will soak up quite a bit. And then on here, I'm just going to come in here and put some down on each side just to anchor it in place. And I'm using the bigger one because it gets it in place, gets that glue down a lot faster. And it's easier on my hands. Oh no! No, 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 no. I know, I'm the only one that ever happens to. Okay, eyeball it in place, and down it goes. It is that easy. I'm going to come in right along here with my bone folder. Whoops. Try to set that crease. And then come in here with the sprayer. I can see those lines starting to show. Get this down. There, that is pretty much, oh, I'm looking for the top that's back there. put the lid on that glue. That is pretty much done. I will put another piece here, but I think what I want to do, instead of doing one of these, I'm going to use probably a piece of cardstock, and it will come to this edge and stop. So let me see, somewhere I have, is that the, yes, and that's even the color I want too. So do I want it, I don't want it that wide, so I probably want to take some of this off. Pull out my cutter and narrow this down some. Probably that should be enough. There we go. Pop that back into place. I do have a table that sits on, but at the moment, the table's being used. So, when you put your spine piece on, and again, we're pulling out the double-sided tape. Where's Jack? I want to put a piece right here, right on there. Or do I? Well, too late now. I should have done it on the inside, which is where it should have gone, in here. But I wasn't thinking, so that tape should actually be on the inside. But since I put it there, I'm going to leave it there. Now, that's for that. With this one, I'm going to do the same. Is that double? Yeah, it's double-sided. I'm going to do the same thing and go all the way around it. I'm not concerned that my tape wobbled. It will be okay. That one there. And then I'm going to come across here. Just like a big square. Down there. Okay. Now, we're going to come back here, and I'm going to take off this tape. It should have been, this one should be on the inside there. But I goofed. But I'd rather you see my goof so that you know what to look out for, so that you don't make the same goof. All right, now I'm only going to take off the two long sides on here. That's it. Come to the rest later. I'm not worried about that right now. Now, back to here, set that up there, come in with my glue. This may seem like a lot, but my tip I cut is angled, so it's not as much as what you may think it is. Now for here, again, I'm going to come along here with some glue right along the edges here, because sometimes tape comes up. I don't want this to come up. Now, I'm going to turn the whole thing over, and let me try it this way. Try and eyeball it. Ah, got my fingers stuck in where I want it to go, so that it's somewhat even and down. Not fussing with it, just down. Okay. I don't know why I keep trying that with my fingernails. I can never get that up. I'm going to pull this side up, and I'm going to come in here with glue along this edge here. Remember how we did the sides? I'll put some there because there is a bump. Now, I'm going to fold that whole thing over, just like that. come in with my bone folder, just run it along the edge there and down, and that's it. And now we'll do this side. Take that tape off. And again with glue, I'll put some here because that's where that thing ends. And then come right along the edge here. Make sure I get it all down there. Put the lid on that. And then come in here and fold it, pushing it against that edge of that spine. And then I'll come this way, make sure I've got it flat against there, and then crease it. Now, at this point, all I'm going to do is come in here and just sort of give a little bit of stress relief, find out where that's at, to those joints, and then just a slight bend. Just a slight bend. And that's it. I'm not folding it anymore. But there's our base. It was that quick, that simple. I know it's going to seem hard at first. It's going to seem confusing at first. But the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. And this is what I call an underlayment. Because from here, I can, let me see if I've got a piece. Like if I wanted to use and trim this out, and I can mat it, or I can collage on it, or I can do whatever, but this is going to give me a base to work with. Both of these. And then you've also got your base on the inside that you can mat here, put a pocket, whatever. And it gives you stability. And then as the glue sets, all you want to do is come in here and bend a little bit, because if you bend too much, you're going to crack the paper. And we don't want that to happen. So just slightly there, and then give it a few more minutes and do it again until you can finally close your journal. But that's it. That is how simple it is. That's what I call an underlayment. So if you're interested in making your own covers, or journal covers, go out. You saw what I use. I use an envelope. You can use cardboard. You can take cereal boxes and glue two sides, glue them together to give you a sturdier one, or just a plain cereal box. It doesn't matter, but give it a try. And if you need to, make several so that you've got them in your stash, so that you can, and you don't have to use a solid color. You can use any other color for your spine cover, but give it a try, and before you know it, it'll be second nature to you, and you will have a bunch of covers that you can work with. And anytime you're in the mood like I've got 2 other journals going, and I just finished my 3rd, and now I've got another 3rd. Will I start it this week, next week? I don't know, but the cover's made. So give it a try, and let me know how yours turned out in the comments below. If you like I am so tongue-tied today. If you enjoyed what I shared with you today, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, because you never know where we're going next here in the Dragon's Den. So until then, bye guys!